everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to the channel for card number 6 today for my holiday card series. I had a blast making these cards. It was so much fun, and I think one of the reasons is because I pulled out stuff I've had for a very long time and I got to play with it, and that's always a good time. So I'm going to make 2 different cards, one traditional colors, one not so traditional, and then play with just some super fun embellishments. So at the time of this recording, your free gift over at scrapbook.com is the glitter snowflake pops of color that I will be using to embellish. So I will talk a little bit about that when we get to that part, but I am pulling out this Trinity Stamps layering stencil for this Christmas tree, or this tree in general. And I'm going to be using my white glass mat. This is a magnetic mat, and it is phenomenal. You've heard me rave about it multiple times. But if you did want to get one of these mats, the coupon code is Mary20 for 20% off. Okay, so I'm just layering up. That's what's fun about this stencil, is you get a multi-dimensional look from all of the layers. So there's 3 layers for this one tree, and I love the size of the tree. I think it's really substantial. You can make it singular on your card like I'm doing with this one, or you can triple it up like I do with the other card. So like I mentioned, the pops of color, if you're shopping at scrapbook.com today, throw it in your cart, make sure. And there's also another gift. I believe it's alphabet stickers, and just a bunch of other sales. You know how it is at the end of the year. These craft companies just go on super sale, and so now's the time to get some of that stuff you've kind of been waiting for. Okay, now I'm going to put the pops of color as my 3rd layer. So I just put it on my palette knife and just wiped it over like I would any embossing powder or embossing paste. All right, let's move into the next card. I'm kind of going to bounce back and forth between the cards here. I'm going to be using a very soft palette for this one, some Catherine Polar ink in purple, teal, or like a mint color, and pink. The largest and most open spaced piece of the stencil is going to be what you use your lightest color with, and then as they get smaller, you use darker and darker colors. So that's how I'm going to do these stencils for all 3 of them. Now, I don't use the 3rd layer for this tree, for any of these 3 trees right here, because I'm going to use the pops of color again, except I'm going to freehand it. So you can do it either way. I am going to be using my ink blending brushes just to put that in there. Be careful if you have this or any intricate stencil when you're cleaning it. You want to make sure to be gentle with it, because those little pieces in the middle are pretty intricate, and so you don't want to rip them. Okay, so now I have my 3 trees done, and it's meant to look like the purple and pink are in the back, but I do see a little bit of that coming through the front of it. You won't matter because I'm going to cover it anyway. Here you can see I'm freehanding my pops of color, which is just as simple and fast. Of course, I sped this up. I'm not really that fast, but I am going to be doing it this way, and it's a little bit less messy that way instead of the palette knife, but either way is good. And then I'm going to cover the ground because we're out in the snowy forest here. And I'm going to choose one of these teal gems I had in my stash. And I'm just going to pop that right on the center in the front one, almost like the front tree is kind of, the special tree. Moving back over to the other card, I'm going to use still the same stencil set, and I'm going to be using these little bursts here. These are fun. These could be used as, what is it called in the sky? What is it called? Fireworks. It can be used as fireworks, snowflakes, really just whatever, just a background. So I am going to put those down, then cut that down just a little bit because my tree was off center. And then I'm going to take my brush and I am going to just blend a little bit so it wasn't so stark white. Now I'm going back and I'm using the champagne glitter pops of color, and I'm going to be using the stencil part that's sort of the tree topper. So this is a star, and I'm going to put that right on the top there, and you can see I had used my little tree stump as well at the bottom, and then I'm going to, in each of those little snowflakes or bursts, I'm going to put that champagne pops of color. And that's almost going to finish off the card, but we are going to do something a little bit extra here. And so I'm going to take out this die set from Spellbinders. I used this, this must be almost a year or 2 ago. This right now is from $27 or so down to $10 on both scrapbook.com and Spellbinders if you want to check that out. This is a classy die set. I'm going to put some pictures here on the screen of some of the cards or the video that I did. And you can check that out if you wanted to see some more. It's in my holiday playlist, but I'll just link it below and you can just hit it right there if you want to see it. It's just so pretty. So I'm going to use this cute little deer, and I used some scrapbooks.com glitter paper in sort of like a champagne kind of gold. So it's not yellowy gold. It's really pretty. It's almost like a brownish gold. Very pretty. And I'm just going to put this deer right in the center here. I thought that he did not hide too much. I thought it was just kind of a nice little accent piece and kind of classed up this card. And then I had these sentiments in my stash, so I just placed that right there, and that is going to do it for this first card. But we're going to jump back to the other card and finish that one off as well. So I cut out the other deer. I cut out another deer, but I want to do this so that the deer are facing each other. So I'm just going to turn over my glitter cardstock, and I'm going to die cut it that way. This way I can get those two deer kind of looking or facing each other. Well, their bodies are facing each other. But I wanted to add a little bit of oomph to these, so I am going to be using some brown cardstock, and I'm just going to layer that up 3 times so that I have these deer just a little bit thicker. And then I'm going to place them, you'll see in just a second, on my card. So I'm using some liquid adhesive for that, and only one is going to have the antlers, one is not. And so we are going to then freehand a hillside. Not that I don't have a die, I just didn't want to pull it out. That just goes that way sometimes, right? So I'm going to freehand it, and then I'm going to put some scrapbook.com foam adhesive on the back of that. And we're going to pop that up right in front of the tree. See, you don't know what you don't need until you start finishing the card. I didn't need that tree stump at the bottom, and I didn't need those bursts either. But you never know how you're going to finish your card. Well, I suppose some people do. I never know. Now I'm going to put glue on the bottom, which is going to stick to my cardstock, and then foam behind the pieces of the deer that are not. So this way it doesn't sag. And I am going to line up the other one right there in the front as well. And then I can put my antlers on, and I can start embellishing a little bit more. I love the way that this kind of came out. This deer's not solo. It was a very easy technique to do. You just flip over your paper. Now I want my Silent Night there, but that little pop of color is dried, so I'm just going to peel it off. And then I'm going to put some foam tape right on the back of my Silent Night, and we're going to get that all attached. So I have a second here while I'm doing this. Are we ready for Christmas if you celebrate? Are you ready? I think I'm ready. I love that I don't really buy for anybody except our kids and like my sister at times. I usually don't really even buy gifts for my mom just because she doesn't have a lot of space. And so I send her other things. But yeah, I'm pretty ready for Christmas. I'm ready to wake up and have my cinnamon buns and hot cocoa. That's our tradition in the morning. So I'd love to hear your traditions. We're always in the market for new ones. So I'd love to hear how you start your Christmas day if you celebrate Christmas. So back to my pops of color here. I'm just going to place that on the snow hill just to kind of make it look like it's a snowy hill. So as a reminder, pops of color are free right now. And this die set is probably 70%. I don't do public math, but it seems like a lot. $27 down to $10. That's a lot of percentage off. So check out the links below if you're in the market to pick up some fun stuff. I will link everything else I used in this video down in the description box, so you can check that out. I do believe this is my last video before Christmas, so I just want to wish all of you a wonderful week. Take time for your families, for yourself, reflect, rejuvenate, and renew so that you can come back and ready for 2022 like never before. I will see you all in the comments down below and in the next video. Bye-bye.